Good afternoon, everyone. We are going to call the November 7th pre-certification meeting for the Cobb County Board of Elections and Registration to order. And for those who are willing and able, please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Does anyone have any additions or changes to the agenda for today? All good? Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion to approve the agenda.
Great. Is there a second?
Today's meeting.
Great. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? The agenda is approved. And before we get started, I just want to say a public apology. This board is, I just think on behalf of the board, I want to apologize to the voters at Thompson Community Center from Mableton 4C and Smyrna 7A, correct? We will do better. That is, that's what I want to say today. And then I'm gonna pass it over to Michael.
Sure. Give this presentation. I think it's working. There we go. Hold tight for technical difficulties.
Are you checking out?
Is it working?
It's loaded there now.
Yeah, it's out there now.
Oh, it's working? There's just a delay. Okay, sorry. Apologies, everyone.
Just.
Okay, so outstanding activities. Of course, the provisional ballot processing is occurring right now. We started at 2 o'clock. There were a total of 220 from election day, 1 from advance voting, and 15 by mail. For election day, 182 will be processed. They can be counted, and there are still 14 pending, which means the voter hasn't cured their ballot yet, and they have until 5 o'clock to come in and do that. And then, of course, once the 5 o'clock timeline is up, then we can upload the final results. Okay, so some unofficial and incomplete results. So if you notice at the bottom, the totals show 125,991 on both the ballots cast and the Jarvis credit report. However, that's not 100% accurate. It's actually, it should be off a little bit. And when I say that, if you look, I believe it's 2, for election day, the Jarvis credit report is showing 84,839, but the ballots cast are 84,840. So the explanation on that is a voter, I believe at Vinings 02. When she was checking in, there was a glitch with the poll pad when it was going to print out her voter certificate. So it allowed them to continue the process and program the card. However, until we get the numbered list from knowing, it won't show credit for her vote. So that's why there's a difference between the Jarvis credit report and the ballots cast. We have all the documentation and all the evidence to prove that everything happened correctly. We're just waiting on that report. I inquired with No Ink earlier this morning on when we would receive that, and I haven't gotten a response yet. For advance voting, you'll see that it is off by 1. Ballots cast 39,979, but credit is showing 978. So what happened there is during the first week of the overlap at Taylor Bronner, confusion with running the overlap. A gentleman showed up to vote. He was not in the poll pad, so they had to call our office to verify his eligibility. He was showing as pending in Jarvis, I believe because he had just turned 18. So they verified that he was eligible to vote, but there was some breakdown in communication on what that meant on the other end. So when he was at Taylor Bronner House, he voted for the PSC contest. He was supposed to vote for SD 35. The reason for that is his application, I believe, came in on the 19th, which was meeting the deadline for applications for SD 35, but October 6th was the deadline for the PSC contest. So somehow, some way, when they were communicating over the phone, there was a breakdown on what contest he was supposed to be voting for. So that is there why you will see ballots cast is one more than credit. He was not eligible to vote. He was eligible to vote because it was the statewide contest. However, he didn't meet the registration deadline, so therefore he could only vote in Senate District 35. Does everyone understand what I'm trying to say?
Was his ballot scanned though?
Yes.
So it
So
is
that-
in the total.
So that is why the credit, or that is why ballots cast is shown, but the
79
credit pulled
versus
because he was
78.
not supposed to. And then with absentee by mail, there is so the credit, 1,174, that's actually a different statistic than the other two. So it's actually 1,173. The extra one, the fourth one, is because there is credit for one cured provisional ballot that occurred. Okay, you guys following?
Yeah.
So one provisional ballot was cured and credit was issued. So it should really show that 172 out of 173.
Why is the provisional line blank?
That is because that's what they're doing right now.
But the one that was counted, it's in,
Absentee by mail.
Once that's uploaded, then that's
Okay.
where that would show.
got it.
Now, for absentee by mail, there was another one. So we had, when we received the ballot from the voter, when they pulled out the ballot, it was missing the top portion, which is the precinct information, and the bottom portion of the coding of the ballot. It only had the vote on it. So they received credit because of the oath envelope. That's their assigned credit from then.
Right.
But once the ballot is removed and taken to audit and duplication, there's no tide, there's secrecy there. It's anonymous. But because they're issued credit beforehand, once it gets to that point, we are not going to be able to duplicate that ballot because there's no tie to the voter. The precinct information is missing and the coding. So there's no way for them to know where to issue that ballot. Does that make sense?
So this was a spoiled ballot.
It won't be cast.
Basically,
Um,
but it was issued credit.
You mean the voter was issued credit? for
We had a
voting?
lot of those during the Warnock
Yes,
Walker race.
You mean that the voter was issued credit for voting,
yes.
but we aren't counting the actual vote?
We can't count it.
Right.
Mhm.
We did though during the Walker Warnock race. We counted thousands of mutilated ballots.
Well, it may have been because you could see where the precinct, this one didn't have any of the information on where to put
Neither
it.
did these, some of them. Do you remember?
Not really.
I do. Okay.
I'm not
Uh,
I'm not sure what happened in 22, but we can definitely look into that. But as far as the numbers presented here, we have explanations. So at the end of the day, when all the final results are uploaded, everything should be square. We have the evidence on everything. We have the explanations on the discrepancies. And that's where we're at.
But basically, those two totals tie only because There's 2 on one side and 2 on the other.
Yes,
That's-
but then
Yeah, I see what's
absentee by
happening.
mail, it's pulling from 2 different
see what's
reports.
happening, yeah.
Yes,
Can we go back to the 18-year-old for a second?
sure.
Was that 18-year-old contacted about their eligibility to vote in SD 35 so that they can
Yes.
return?
Yes, I'm not sure if he has come back yet. Like I said, this
Okay.
was the first.
That was
week of
on
the
us.
lab. Absolutely, absolutely, yes. And we had phone number and email address. I believe
Okay.
we've called and emailed, I think, several times.
Okay,
I don't know. I have to get an update if he's actually showed back up or not yet.
great. I would definitely like that update just to
Absolutely.
ensure that we,
I meant to, I was wrong.
Yeah.
I meant to get that.
no, I know. I just make sure that, because that was on us, that he was not given the proper ballot.
Absolutely.
So,
So on the ballot, backtracking, on the ballot, there was top and bottom cut off.
Correct.
Was it involving a municipal race?
I believe it was just PSC only.
Then it should be counted. You don't, I mean, why do you have to attach a precinct to it?
Because there's no way for them to duplicate it. There's no information. They don't know what,
Yeah, we might want to circle back with Janine on that one and find out what they did on all those ballots that were, well, back then I called them mutilated. I think they were mutilated.
I think that they were, but I think you could still, we were still able to duplicate, we were still able to create a card.
I think what my recollection is they were folded in a weird place and then they ended up separating. And so they were in an envelope together when you went to go scan it, but
There
We
was
were able
all
to duplicate.
different sizes and shapes. Some of them, the top was cut off, some of the bottom was cut off, some of them, the only thing that showed were the race itself. We processed those.
We
Just-
had to have been able to have a card though. So I think basically that we need more, we probably need more information about that particular.
I would
foiled
be
ballot.
comfortable if we got more information about
Yeah, I'm
that,
just- I'm-
because we literally had,
I can definitely inquire.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't see how without that number at the bottom of their ballot or without the precinct, there's no way
Well-
they can duplicate it.
Janine might have an answer for you, so, I mean.
Well, I
is
think
it
Marcus was
proper-
here.
No, he wasn't.
No, he wasn't.
Okay,
Nope. That was all
Too.
Erica
let's just look
and,
into it, so.
we can look into it.
Yeah, I'll definitely
Yeah.
reach out.
okay, I think we should, because I know we did it before.
Yeah, we need to know what's going on with that ballot, I think, in general.
Yeah, I would think so.
Any other questions?
Not for me, but thank you.
Oh, so there were some notes about it. The OPAC glitch, voter didn't receive credit. I'm waiting on the numbered list from No Ink. I think that's about it. That's the end of the presentation on the.
Wait, go back to the last slide, please.
And yeah,
The words will.
takes me a while to
No, no.
comprehend, especially since it's that light color.
I got ahead of the presentation, so.
No,
That's fine.
you regurgitated all that information well.
I got
A
it.
lot more floating around up here right now.
I'm sure there is.
Just trying to make it all make sense right now.
Yeah.
And is there any adjudication at this point for provisionals that we need to do? Okay.
No, ma'am.
And Daniel, did you have any?
No, not today.
Michael, just for the benefit of the public watching, I know there's been a lot of questions about recounts and what is the rule for recounts. So can you just reiterate that to anybody who might have that question?
Sure.
When does a recount happen?
So I'm actually looking for the answer of the timeline of when it can occur, but it's my understanding there's 2 days after certification where the candidate can, the losing side can request the recount as long as the threshold is smaller than 0.5.
Right.
0.5%,
Yeah.
basically. We did some math. depending on what the outcome of the provisional is, it would change that threshold, and it could turn out to be a recount. It would not change the outcome of the race, but it would trigger a recount if, I don't remember what the figure was, but there was the potential to it.
So the timing would be recertify, and then there's 2 days for anyone to, not anyone, the losing
Candidate,
candidate to bring that up.
yes, ma'am.
Give us a timeline when we have to hold it.
Well, yeah, no, that's in it. He was right about the 2 days.
The 2 days to call it, but he was uncertain on how long we have to schedule it.
No, I didn't think that's what, I think.
You didn't, isn't that what you said?
No, it was because we had some questions about, at Friday, we'll know what the final results are. Could it happen after 5 PM at that point because everything had been uploaded, or did it have to wait until certification? So that's what I meant by.
2 days after certification, right?
Right, certification is the trigger.
Certification
Yes.
triggers the,
And then we have one race that is currently looking like a runoff, but may not be depending on the provisionals.
Yes, the Ward 5 council
Right,
seat in
that's-
Marietta, I
That's the other
believe.
one I think we've gotten questions about, so.
If, I don't remember what the figure is, but if
Right.
all of those provisionals did count towards them, it would not, there would be no runoff.
I think the number was calculated 4. He needs 4 votes to avoid a runoff on what is outstanding. So the real question is,
I'm not.
how many
sure.
of those
Yeah.
ballots were from
Yeah, I always
Ward 5?
hedge against like giving the actual number
Well-
because if somebody gets 1 and somebody gets 4, then that changes that percentage.
Right.
So, but yes, it's small.
He would need at least that many, right?
You can't say that.
Well, because we don't know what the other.
Right,
other-
You
exactly.
gotta know both sides.
I think
Both
there's
sides can-
6 outstanding is what he was told.
There were,
Do we have the precinct breakout on the outstanding on those, on the ones?
Well, here-
This is the precinct
Here's the
breakout.
precinct breakout. The challenge
Okay.
with precinct breakout is just to
We
give you an
don't
example.
know.
Is you don't know, like
it was
here's
14 total for City
Right.
of Marietta, and I think it was 6.
the Ward 5, which is the one that's in concern here. It just means, there's what, 5 or maybe 5 or 6 different precincts that have Ward 5 in the
Correct.
combo. So
Oh.
a subset of voters.
Okay.
So
Got
even though it might say, oh, this one's a Ward 5A ballot, that could be because they were supposed to be in voting from Ward 3A.
Gotcha.
And you could even have like somebody who's voting in Ward precinct 1A, but they're
Gotcha.
not even in Marietta. And so we
We can't go by the number that it says for the precinct
Gotcha.
until we actually,
Okay.
Because, yeah,
Gotcha.
they may have voted in Ward 5, but
Makes
nothing else.
totally,
exactly,
makes total sense. Okay, thank you.
great. All right. Are there any other questions?
No question.
And Daniel, we don't need any.
no executive session.
Fantastic. Our next meeting, our certification meeting is,
I do have a question on knowing numbered list. You'll forward that to us as soon as you get it?
Sure, I'll make sure you guys have it.
Okay, that'll be a big one, won't it?
it usually goes on the flash drive, we
Yeah.
just don't have it.
Yeah, I can.
But it
I'll
shouldn't
figure out a
be
way to get it.
over, well, we have 89,000. That shouldn't be that big of a file. Okay.
Okay, anything else? Great, our next meeting will be Monday at 3 o'clock in the Board of Commissioners room. That's our certification meeting. And it is 3:19 and this meeting is adjourned.